Alright boys and girls, welcome back. It has been a little while for me. Last week on Sunday I had my competition. Obviously last weekend you got the last of the SBD Saturdays. Now unless you've been keeping up to date with all the other socials like my TikTok, you probably don't know how I did because I haven't yet uploaded anything to YouTube about a competition. So we're going to do a quick recap here and then we're going to have a little more of a chat and then we're going to get into the gym. Obviously we're parked in the gym car park, gym's right there. So if you are more interested in the gym, skip to where the gym is, you don't have to listen to all this yap. So last Sunday we had my powerlifting competition. Now I competed in the under 93s and my general takeaway is that I was pretty disappointed with how it all went. Now when I got there I was quite confused of where everything was. It was a really small venue and basically there was a lot of people just like hanging around in the way of everything, so it was a bit of chaos. Now once we'd got signed in and everything, I weighed in at 90.9 kilos, so I was about 2 kilos under the weight, which was a little concern of mine because a week prior I weighed 95 kilos, so we managed to lose about 4 kilos in a week, so we were fine. However, we got onto squats and I opened at 195 I think, and it moved pretty poorly. Like I don't know why, but like my mental throughout the whole entire squats was not that I'm squatting. It was like a really weird sensation where I didn't feel like I was squatting. I just felt like I was standing up or like something. It was just really strange. I was not in the moment. I was not in the motion of a squat, which was quite annoying because obviously my aim was somewhere in the 215 to 220 region. Now, first attempt was 195 or 192, I can't quite remember, and it moved all right. So then we jumped to 205, and that moved pretty similar. And I was kind of like, it's all or nothing now because I can either go for 210, which I can do and I've previously done, or I can go up and hit a PR. I won't be happy with the PR purely because I'm not going to go for 215 because 215 is not there. So I went for 212, hit it. It was all right, felt exactly the same as the first two. And then we went on to bench. Now bench is what I'm supposedly good at. I'm a bench specialist is what everyone calls me. So in theory, we should do really well on it. Now I opened 162.5 kilos. I got one red and they didn't, basically none of the refs knew what the red light was for until my second lift. I ended up failing my second lift to 170, not for strength, but purely because they said my butt lifted. Now I was under the impression that my butt didn't lift at all, but I didn't decide to argue because I was like, I'm just gonna go up in weight, it'll be fine. So come out for my third attempt, 175 kilos. I'm like, this is gonna be nice and easy. I really focused mentally on pushing my hips down so my ass doesn't lift. And I get 2 red lights for hip lift is what they said. I'm not sure that's part of the rules. Your hips can lift, it's to do with your butt. But yeah, so we ended up failing that. Now I was really annoyed about that because from the look of all the recordings and from what I can see and what I can remember, my hips maybe moved about this much. Now when you bench, I don't know, obviously like people bench differently. When you tense your glutes, you lift, like it doesn't lift, like it goes from being not tense to tense, and so therefore there is a motion, but I didn't lift off the bench. But either way, it just meant we had to do well on deadlifts, which deadlifts is the one lift I actually was happy with. We went in, opened at 205, really nice, really easy rep. And then we went on to 220, which was the same story. And now in my weight class, there was 3 other guys competing. And at this point, I was behind. And so basically my decision was I was gonna pull to be 2.5 kilos ahead of the guy. And then if he failed his third attempt, I would end up winning, which luckily I put 237.5 on, moved pretty nicely, pretty comfortably, and the guy ended up failing his third. So I ended up coming first in my weight class, which was quite good, but I'm just not happy with it. I ended up totaling 612.5. Goal was around the 620 mark, so obviously not too happy. But basically, we just got to lock in now because we've got a lot of progress to make. So my aim is to maybe compete again in April time, which obviously is like 2 months away. So we've got 2 months to build. We are currently on week 0, so it's not a programmed week. We're just kind of here for myself, just like to kind of like still be doing the motion. Obviously week 1 starts on Monday, so we've got 2 days, but we're going to go pretty heavy today is basically the goal, because I'm pretty sure I feel good today. Now obviously we're hoping we feel good. We're going to go in there, hopefully hit some nice weights. Not sure, like, on the scheme of things, whether they're going to be extremely heavy or just heavy. We'll go based on how we feel, because we don't want to push to injuries. But yeah, so basically, goal is get in there, do a good warm-up, do a nice few starts on squats, maybe work up something good, and then we'll go from there. So if you do enjoy, boys, like and subscribe, and I will put my competition list somewhere, probably right here, so you can enjoy watching those. And we'll crack on, we'll get into the gym, and I'll see you boys very shortly. Peace out. Alright boys, 200 kilo, accidentally paused it, but it moved pretty nice. We're going to go up to 210, which is 2.5 kilos off PR. We've got the safeties in just in case, but hopefully it moves well. Feeling pretty strong, pretty light so far, but we're going to see how this moves, and this is going to be the decider. So yeah, we'll crack on. Hope you all enjoy. Alright boys and girls, we're going to leave it there, 210. Pretty decent rep to be fair, just don't think it's worth pushing it today. But yeah, feeling pretty nice, still feeling relatively like RP 8, 9 maybe. It looks really hard, but I think that's just because I start shaking. But I reckon I could probably push out maybe 5 more kilos, but not today. We're going to do that some other day. So yeah, we're going to move on to bench now, and hopefully have as good of a time on that. Alright boys, bench isn't feeling as great as squats were. We've moved up to 160 now, which should move pretty comfortably. Obviously, the only thing that feels a bit uncomfortable is like my left bicep. But I think I keep triggering that by squatting. So it's like, not actually from bench, it's from squatting, but it hurts on the bench. So it's not the best, but you know, move, carry on this, and we've got 160. And then we'll see what's happening. Yeah, enjoy. Alright boys, 175, pretty good. It's 5 kilos off all-time PR. That is pretty much a match of competition standard PR. We're on to deadlift now. We've got to pull something big if we want to get anywhere near my PR. So we're going to crack on. We're going to use the 25s instead of the 20s for this, like we did on squats. And yeah, we're just going to see how everything moves basically. So yeah, enjoy. Alright boys, we're outside of the gym now. Pretty good session. Pretty much 620 kilo total today. Obviously we did 210, 175, and then egotistically went for 240, but I had 235 on the day. We tried that after, but I took 2 minutes rest because I was so like annoyed at it. But 620, pretty good start in total. Obviously week 1 is next week, so it's going to be pretty light, pretty comfortable, and basically we're on the build again. We've got about 2 months, that's about 2 blocks until the competition I want to do. So we're just going to build and build and build. I'm going to really, really commit myself this time, because the issue is that I come to the, I don't know what the word is, but like I come to the thought in my mind that after a comp, I need to lock in, not before. And so because I'm planning on doing one so much sooner than usual, I think I can manage to stay locked in for these 2 months. So basically the goal is we're going to eat protein and carbs and eat clean. Obviously occasionally have like cheat meals, because you gotta have cheat meals, otherwise you basically are going to really, really become mentally drained. I don't really struggle to eat clean, mainly because in my life I kind of have came to the realization that I don't actually enjoy eating lots of sugar. Like, it bloats me, and it also makes me feel like quite lethargic. So we're going to try and steer clear of high density processed sugars. I know this all just sounds like corny shit, so we're going to keep it very minor on this conversation. But basically, long story short, we're just going to eat clean, eat good, train hard, and that's basically the game plan. It's not very complicated. If any of you boys got a competition coming up soon, or you've got something that you're doing, let me know down below. I'm interested to hear about all of your boys' achievements and goals. Obviously our goal is pretty achievable. I think I want to hit probably 630 in comp, so 10 kilos more than I did today, which I think is achievable. I actually probably even may say 640 is achievable. Basically the goal is that we're going to lock in for this year and see basically how much potential we have, because I've come to the realization that although I am far off at the moment of like world standards, I haven't ever focused properly on it. Like, I maybe do a week of like really focused, like diet's really good and training's really hard, but it just mentally gets to me after a week. So basically we're gonna lock in for at least these 2 months, and then after I've done my other comp, I might have the same exact motivation, and we're hoping that just carries on for the whole year. We might try and do 3 more competitions this year. It's quite optimistic, but I enjoy competing. I think it's a nice environment to try and hit PRs. Like, a lot of the time on plan, you either have double PRs, triple PRs. You don't often do single PRs other than like after you've built for quite a while. So obviously this block might end up being like a doubles block or something like that, and then we'll obviously have peak and block again. I don't know if it's a bit soon, but basically I think I'm got enough, like I'm new enough to the sport to where it won't impact me, type of thing. So yeah, we're gonna go home now next week. So all we've had today is some porridge, so yeah, we probably should eat something. So yeah, if you boys did enjoy, like and subscribe, and I'll see you boys next weekend. We're gonna keep up these SBD Saturdays, keep an eye on the shorts, keep an eye on the TikTok, all is linked below. But yeah boys, I'll catch you boys next time. Peace out.